such a pleasure to speak with you both. I thought The Pale Blue Eye was fantastic. And Christian, not only do you have a great mystery in this movie, but it's also taking place in 1830, which is such an interesting time. What did you find most intriguing about this kind of combination of a mystery and a period piece?
Well, first, thank you very much. I'm so glad you enjoyed it, and nice to talk to you too. Um, uh, it's what I enjoyed so much about reading the script, imagining what Scott would come up with, and then seeing what Scott and Massa did come up with, and everyone involved, the production designers, everybody. It's a beautifully atmospheric, a gothic murder mystery. The setting, the location is just as much a character as Landor, who I play, or Poe, who Harry plays. And I've always loved that Gothic era look, and setting it in the 1830s. Not everybody can manage that. Some faces aren't suited to that period. Some voices, there's language to it that even though the American accent really wasn't formed properly at that time, so it was a real hodgepodge. It's something which is a unique talent to be able to achieve that, and this man did it absolutely impeccably, and it was a real joy to be able to help Scott put all of this together and then see, what a success the final result is.
Yeah, Harry, you're great as Edgar Allan Poe. And what I love about the character is you give these like grand, very poetic speeches. And, like you throw the other characters off guard even in the film. You're like, oh, I'm suffering, I'm very vertiginous. And they're like, what? How fun was it kind of playing around with his speech and being very emphatic with, just the way he talks?
It was so much fun. I think that was one of the things that really appealed to me about the character was he was such an amalgamation of contradictory things. He was this performer, the way he would perform these poems to the cadets or to Landor to try and impress them. But at the same time, there's a vulnerability there, there's a shyness there in a strange sense. And it was all there in Scott's script. It was just a question of maybe joining the dots and filling in the gaps in terms of that beautiful range that was there in the script. So it was a joy. It really was a real joy to play with that.
Christian, I wanted to ask you, avoiding spoilers, but the last, scene in the film, you and Harry are so vulnerable. It's very genuine. It's raw. How was it filming that last scene in the movie? Because it just brought everything all together, both plot-wise, but also emotionally.
Yeah, obviously a absolutely crucial, pivotal scene. Real pleasure to experiment with that scene with Harry. Bloody cold. We were filming, I think we went through 3 in the morning or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
but that just adds to it, I enjoyed that actually, I enjoyed the fact that we filmed this in the dead of winter outside of Pittsburgh and it was freezing. It helps add something to it, I believe.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
It was an interesting one because there are choices to be made and we could have given Scott multiple choices, but actually Scott's very, very definite. He knows what he's looking for. And so for how complex that scene is, and it's very complex, and all the subtext and reading between the lines, it was actually very simple, the methods by which we achieved it.